Join me as I redesign and curate my Southwestern rustic home here in Scottsdale, Arizona. Now, I've posted a few videos already of some shopping hauls that I've done. I actually moved back to Scottsdale. I had lived in Phoenix before, moved back to Arizona and specifically Scottsdale 8 years ago from California. And it's funny, a lot of the furniture that I had in Scottsdale, I brought with me because I lived in a more rustic, Southwestern styled home in California. So a lot of my key pieces came back with me, but I also downsized and got rid of some of them along the way. So 8 years ago, when I moved in, I decided I was going to purchase a few key pieces and then I was going to use consignment, estate sales, thrift stores, and garage sales mostly to furnish and curate this home. And now, 8 years later, I am very diligently and intentionally working on the pieces of that. It's mostly done, but I have bare walls still, different things that I want to fill in. And this year, during the holidays, because I went all out, I was very intentional when I was putting everything back to look around and say, is this how I really want things? Now, one of the reasons I love shopping consignment and thrift stores is because A, if you really are diligent and you take your time and you're not in a rush, you can find some really quality pieces for pennies on the dollar. And I feel like a lot of these are made from materials that are healthier. You have to be careful, obviously, if you're buying old glass items, there might be lead in that. So you want to be careful of some of that. But there's some amazing furniture and different pieces that you can get. And so I really wanted to use that way of shopping and filling in my home. Now, for me, I also love the essence of antiques, vintage, and anything that might have a history. Literally, when I pick up a piece, something, these are my napkin rings, not necessarily these, but this actually is a great example. When I hold this in my hand or when I'm in the thrift store, I think to myself, what is this scene? I love these gold ones that I got, gold napkin rings. What parties have these napkin rings experienced? It's kind of like that show, what if walls could talk? I always get that too when I hold those pieces. I think, what stories could you tell me if you came to life? Now, that may sound very woo or whatever. I don't spend a ton of time on that, but I have a lot of my husband's grandmother's pieces in my kitchen, and I always love using those. And I think of that. So I had a very intentional plan, and I'll show you some of that here as we go along. And as you see here on the screen, these are just a few of the things that I'm looking for. And I like to go with a list because it helps me be intentional and it helps me remember what I'm looking for. Jeweled fruit, random china cups, and espresso cups. This is to put avocado mousse and different things in, as well as teas that I want to start hosting. A French press. I put planting for my dining room planter, which if you've watched any of my tablescapes, you will have seen my planter that I have poinsettias in during the holidays, but I also want to put herbs and different things in there that I can pull out at holiday time and put somewhere else. But, different things like that. Books to stack behind sofa, napkin rings, that I can pretty much check off. Wood cutting and charcuterie boards, warming plate, I did get that. Baskets for blankets, silk flowers, hurricane glass holders, sticks. And then rose pink glasses, champagne flutes, gold glasses, silver rim, blue glasses. A lot of these are things that I have some of, but I want to expand that collection. And by having it on my list, I remind myself, such as the gold glasses that I use at Thanksgiving. A corner hutch for the dining room, living room coffee table, small leather chair for the family room. I know exactly where I can move that into my bedroom office when holidays come and the Christmas tree goes there. A side table for the family room. So just different things like that I am specifically looking for as I curate my home. So come with me as I explore with you some of these shopping hauls. So just what treasures did I ultimately end up bringing home from Kiwanis? Let's look and see. Well, the very first thing I stumbled into was the fondue set that I have been looking for. It's copper, it's rustic, it's perfect. So that was a no-brainer. The next thing I did was I stumbled into these apples. They look lovely and would match some of my fruit, but they were plastic, so I passed. Then, of course, I can't help in Kiwanis but look at all of the fun china and silver and glassware and fun kitchen stuff, which is where I quite often get stuck. But I'm telling you, if you're looking for great party and serving platters or anything like that, you cannot go wrong at these thrift stores. Then there's china, which I'm always drawn to the china because you can typically get really nice sets of china for very, very discounted prices. And I love to use this for my dinner parties, and I can throw it in the dishwasher. I don't worry about whether or not it gets a little bit damaged. It's eclectic, and I'm using it for those exact things. Now, this was kind of a nice little tray, although it was plastic. And then, of course, along with my jeweled fruit and other items, these lemons in a glass jar were great. But at $12, it just wasn't really anything that I needed for right now. But a great find. Now, here in the Southwest, it's easy to find these blue rimmed margarita, wine, goblet, water type glasses just about anywhere. And I keep being drawn to these purple glasses as well. I find them stunning. But I'm not really in the market right now for any more of these blue rimmed glasses, so I'll pass. Now, Christmas was discounted to $2 for any particular Christmas item. And that was really stunning given what I plan to do. And of course, as I love making homemade salad dressings, the glass jars were really just perfect for that as well. So just what treasures did I ultimately end up bringing home from Kiwanis? Let's look and see. So I really couldn't resist getting the porcelain plates at $2 for 4 plates. This is going to be perfect for next year gifting some homemade treats that I will bring with me to parties. And of course, as I mentioned, with the salad dressings that I like to make at 50 cents a piece, which is what these ended up going for, I couldn't resist. And then, of course, the creme de la creme, I walked out with that stunning copper fondue set. So thanks for coming along with me on this particular shopping haul. What advice do you have for me? How do you think I did? What would you have purchased? What would you have not purchased? Let me know because I would love to hear. I'm Jackie Ulmer, Lower Toxic Life here on YouTube. Grab my guide for updates, my live cooking shows, my recipes, my shopping guides, and how to read labels and more. Give me a like, leave me a comment, and certainly subscribe to the channel.